Welcome to More Patients, More Impact, More Income, the podcast for real holistic medical practitioners who want to grow their high-impact, high-income practice without selling out. And now, here's your host, Chris Axelrad.
Welcome back to More Patients, More Impact, More Income. You're listening to part 2 of the series. Let's jump back in.
Now, in my War Room program, I teach people how to do this. I help people shortcut that process. So they don't have to you don't have to go pay money for this course where you just have to try to figure out on your own or read books or hope that you're doing it right and fuck it up. This is a deal where I literally help you do it. And it's very, very easy to do when you know how to do it right. I'm not saying it's easy in terms of you just show up and push a button. There's work to do. You've got to think about some shit. You've got to try to get clear on what you want to do and the types of problems that you want to offer to help people solve. And by the way, it's not specializing. People freak out oh, but then I have to pick one thing. No, you don't have to pick one thing to treat, but you got to pick one or two things to market. All right. Totally different conversation. All right. So, we pick things and yes, I can tell you the things that suck to market because there are problems that not that many people have, or the people that have them typically don't want help. So you could market that shit all day long. And like I said, you can't talk people into buying something they don't want. And since we actually, unlike at least I'm we were a cash practice, meaning we don't accept insurance directly. We can help people. We give people paperwork they want to file it themselves, but we're literally being paid by our customers, our patients. So people actually have to want to pay us, and, so here's the thing, man, there's all these people. Number one, they're just using word of mouth. So no one even knows they exist anyway. It's no one knows you exist if you're not out there talking and you're not putting yourself in front of people. Advertising is a great way to do that. There's other ways to do it too, but you got to be fucking doing it, and you got to be doing it every day. Okay. And then the second thing is that when they do get in front of people, they're doing everything except saying, I can help you with this problem. And usually here's the thing, what a lot of people will do. They might say, I can help you, but they'll say, I can help you with this problem or that problem or this problem or that problem. And then everything else in there is all this general information. And the thing is, man, people don't want general information. Again, what is the number one thing that people actually think about? They think about themselves. That's what people are thinking about. They're not thinking about you. They're not thinking about how cool Chinese medicine is. They're not thinking about that they want to have more vitality. They're thinking about themselves and their problems. That's what they're wrapped up in. And so our message has to cut through that. And a message of you can have more balance and harmony in your life is not going to cut through that. I'm sorry. And again, I'm not theoretically speaking. I am speaking from experience. If you're new in the group, I will just give you a little background on me so you know where I'm coming from. I'm from Houston, Texas. I was born into a family of MDs. I didn't want to be an MD, although that's what I was expected to be. I went instead and studied music, which was the ultimate rebellion for someone who's supposed to be a doctor. But I could not escape the fact that healing's in my blood. I have, all my uncles, my dad, doctors, one of my great uncles, doctor. I think one of his, of course, my ancestry, I don't know all the ancestry. I just know there was a lot of doctors in my family tree, okay? I couldn't escape it because it's in my blood. And eventually I went to I really became obsessed with holistic medicine. Finally went to acupuncture school in 1999, finished in 2003, opened my practice in 2004. Like I told you, I started in one room. Now we have 3 offices, and we're in the Houston area. We have 3 offices. I have 3 associates. We see 220 plus patients a week. Our typical week, we get at least 20 new patients. Okay. And that's just every fucking week. like every week. And you know what? We almost never do any marketing ever. I never go to health fairs. We never go do talks anymore. If we do talks, we do them in our office. We just don't do shit. We just see patients, right? And the way that all that momentum happened is based on what I'm telling you right here. The core thing, what I'm telling you right here, is the way all that momentum happened, all right? In Facebook ads, can you say that you heal, have success treating an issue like migraines, IBS, whatever? Yeah. Yes, you can. You just need a disclaimer on your website. That's it. Disclaimer is where you say results may vary. Not all cases are going to be cured by this or whatever. I have disclaimers on my. Feel free to go to my website, axelrodclinic.com. I'll put it up here for you, and you can see the disclaimers that are on my website. Those disclaimers were actually put there because my Google Ads account got shut down about I guess it was what? It was March or April. No, it was May of 2017. May of 2017, my Google Ads account got shut down. Or maybe it was like August of, I don't remember, man, whatever. All I know is it freaked me the fuck out because we do get a lot of patients from our Google AdWords. And they shut down my account. And I had to have my office manager call them, and we were able to figure out. And they told us, well, you need disclaimers. And if you get the disclaimers up there, everything's good. So this was after me running ads on Google for, at that point, 11 years. And suddenly, I guess they maybe somebody sued them or there was some new regulation. I have no idea. But regardless, the disclaimers out on the website, you can feel free to use those. There is specific language and ways that you need to phrase things in order to get your ads on Facebook. So that's one of the things that actually, come to think of it, might as well tell you this. I am going to do my next free training is going to be on Facebook ads next week. We're going to get back into the free trainings. I've decided to do a cycle, 3 weeks on, 1 week off, because I just need a week to chill and not do a training. But yet here I am. I can't stay away. Here I am on Thursday night talking to you guys, but the next training is going to be on Facebook ads. I'll give you guys some very important, basic, fundamental stuff about Facebook ads next Thursday. So y'all see those posts popping up in the group. But the most important thing to know is that, yes, you can say we help people with hypothyroid, or, what I would typically say in an ad. In fact, I have an ad running right now for endometriosis. And the ad says, from what I remember, because I put it up 2 weeks ago, and we've already gotten, I think, 2 or 3 patients from it. I know for sure we've had one person fill out the form online that came through Facebook, but usually we have people call us too from the ads, and I can't track that. So other than people coming in. But the ad says something to the effect of, we've helped hundreds of women overcome endometriosis in the last 12 years. We specialize in blah, 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 blah. So yes, I claim that I have experience and that I can help people with that problem.
If you're ready to fill your practice and keep it full without the stress and overwhelm, then get instant access to your free Autopilot Patient Attraction Playbook. Now at www.highimpactpracticesystems.com/autopilot.
Anybody who has told you that you can't do that is full of shit. And that's another important thing to keep in mind. You have to listen to the right people. Don't ask advice from people. Here's who you ask advice: people who are successful. And you know what? If you have to pay them for it, fucking pay them for it. The people who are successful, I had to pay for a lot of the stuff that I have learned. Okay. I didn't just only run that Facebook ad and then become huge. There were a lot of things that I had to learn along the way, a lot of painful lessons, a lot of lessons that I could have avoided had I hired some of the people I hired sooner. But you know what? When you really want to grow, I always talk about this: money. All these people in our industry love to talk their game about energy flow. But when it comes to their own flow in their own life, particularly in the money department, it's as stagnant as a cesspool. Seriously, you have to move money to get money. You have to have outflow to have inflow. And one of the best decisions I ever made was investing in somebody giving me some very serious business coaching. Like, I invested serious money into it. Bottom line is, be careful who you ask advice, because there's a lot of people out there who love to give advice who have no fucking idea what they're talking about. And they're basically just going to repeat hearsay. So there's hearsay that you can't say you treat IBS, or you can't say you treat depression because you're an acupuncturist. Total bullshit. Total bullshit. Now, you may have regulations in your state. I don't know. All I know, in Texas, we have our own state board. We're not restricted from saying anything. Now, what we are restricted from is to diagnose depression, to diagnose IBS, to diagnose those things. We can't say, someone comes to me, I can't say, you have clinical depression, you have irritable bowel syndrome. But if they already have it and they're already suffering from it, then I can offer to help them. Like, why the fuck else am I here? I don't know. That's what I see my purpose as, to offer to help people who are in pain. And guess what? Again, they already want help. So now some of them don't. We could go on and off into that discussion. We won't. That's a whole other topic. But definitely, when you have the right message that offers help to the people who want help, then you don't have to sell them anything. Robin says, do you think fairs, farmers market, table are valuable things to do if you're just starting a practice? If you're just starting a practice, absolutely take every opportunity you can to get out there and have conversations with people and let them know that you exist. Again, make sure that you are asking them, or sort of starting these conversations around their problems, not around your solution. It's okay to talk about our solution. It's okay to tell people what we do, but to position ourselves solely based on, here's what I do, here's how awesome it is, and you should want this. Really, 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 I mean, that's the steepest mountain you could ever try to climb. So, center everything around people's problems, and then you'll have some meaningful conversations with people. And you want to have meaningful conversations. So if someone comes up to your booth and engages in conversation with you, then you give them all your attention, and you just have a very down-to-earth conversation. And a lot of times the people, especially if you're positioning meaning if you're at this farmer's market and your sign mentions problems, or the brochures on your table, or whatever, people will see. And when they see their problem, that's what gets their attention. And then they're going to come and they're going to ask you questions, and they're going to want to talk to you about it. And just make that conversation simple and down to earth. Ask more questions than you give answers. And offer to help when there's a natural moment that arises. And you'll know when that is, when it's time to offer to help them. And I use free consultation. We've used free consultations for 14 years. I was mentioning that earlier, the plumber analogy, where, one plumber says, I need your credit card before I'll even show up at your house. The other plumber says, give me your information. I'm happy to come by and take a look and let you know what's going on. We prefer the latter in my clinic. And so that conversation at your booth becomes, hey, you know what? I mean, this sounds like something I could help you with, and I'm happy to talk to you about that if you want. I can't really talk to you about it right here, but it's free. You can just come by my office. We'll just set up an appointment, and we can just talk about it there, and we can get into the details. And if I can help you, I'll let you know, after I hear your story and everything. Now, the thing is, people will qualify themselves. Okay? People will qualify themselves. So if someone says, oh yeah, that sounds great, and then you get on your phone, on your online calendar sites, I can book it right here if you want. We can just go ahead and book it now. And they'll be like, oh, that'll be great. Okay, cool. Book it. If they show up, they've qualified themselves. If they don't show up, they've disqualified themselves. Because people who really want help, they show up. Like I was saying, if my pipe is leaking water through my wall, the plumber says, I'll meet you there at 2:00. Guess what? I'm going to be at my fucking house at 2:00. Right? All right, guys. So STS method, simplify that shit. Just offer to help people with their problems. Stop beating around the bush. Stop pontificating on all the ins and outs of what you do. And instead, just say, hey, you have this problem? I can help with that. Start the conversation there. And by the way, if you do want my help, of course, you're welcome to contact us and we can talk about it. Okay, my War Room program is serious shit. It's not a small investment. It's not a 5-figure investment. You don't have to take a fucking mortgage for it, but it's not cheap because it really works. We have really good people in there, and you get to talk to me, and I will help you one-on-one create a very clear action plan that's tailored to your goals, to your practice, to your situation. I've helped dozens and dozens of people to like blow up their practice, double their practice, move into bigger offices, open second locations, move out of shared space into their own office for the first time. This is the kind of growth that happens in my program. It's real. It's not bullshit. And it's not just a bunch of rah-rah stuff. Although, yeah, I like to motivate people, and I definitely am really big on being a motivator and the mindset of inspiration and loving kindness and purpose. But you need more than that. Definitely what we have in my program is the actual process. So, I hear about this happening, and I haven't been in any of these other programs, and I'm sure there's other good ones out there. I don't track what other people are doing. I don't pay much attention to what other people are doing. But as far as, mentoring practitioners and marketing stuff and all that. But what I can tell you is this, I do hear a lot on my calls about programs that other people have done. And it ends up a lot of times just being a bunch of rah-rah, just be positive and whatever, because these coaches have no fucking idea what to tell people. And when people come to them with serious questions, they have no answer. So that doesn't happen in my program, period. So I actually know how to coach people. And that's because I've actually done this shit. So, all right, guys, I'm out. See y'all next time.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.